But now the work Yeshua has been given to do is far superior to theirs, just as the covenant he meditates is better. This covenant has been given as Torah, on the basis of better promises. Indeed, if the first covenant had not been given ground for fault finding, there would have been no need for a second one. For God does find fault with the people when he says, "See, the days are coming, says Adonai, when I will establish over the house of Israel and over the house of Judah a new covenant, and it will not be like the covenant which I made with their fathers on the day when I took them by their hand, and led them forth out of the land of Egypt, because they, for their part, did not remain faithful to my covenant. So I, for my part, stop concerning myself with them, says Adonai. For this is the covenant which I will make with the house of Israel after those days, says Adonai. I will put my Torah in their minds and write it on their hearts. I will be their God, and they will be my people. None of them will teach his fellow citizen or his brother, saying, Know Adonai, for all will know me, from the least of them to the greatest, because I will be merciful towards their wickedness, and remember their sins no more." Jeremiah 31:30-33. By using the term new, he has made the first covenant old, and something being made old, something in the process of aging, is on its way to vanishing altogether. Now the first covenant had both regulations for worship and a holy place here on earth. A tent was set up, the outer one, which was called the holy place. In it were the menorah, the golden altar, the table, and the bread of the presence. Behind the second parkahet, a curtain, was a tent called the holiest place, which had the golden altar for burning incense, and the Ark of the Covenant, entirely covered with gold. In the ark were the gold jar containing the manna, Aaron's rod that sprouted, and the stone tablets of the covenant. And above it were the cherubim, representing the Shekinah, God's glory, casting their shadow on the lid of the ark. But now is not the time to discuss these things in detail. With things so arranged, the Kohanim go into the outer tent all the time to discharge their duties, but only the Kohen Hagadol, high priest, enters the inner one, and he goes in only once a year, and he must always bring blood, which he offers both for himself and for the sins committed in ignorance by the people. By this arrangement, the Rosh HaKodesh showed that so long as the first tent had standing, the way into the holiest place was still closed. This symbolizes the present age and indicates that the conscience of the person performing the service cannot be brought to the goal by the gifts and sacrifices he offers, for they involve only food and drink and various ceremonial washings, regulations concerning the outward life, imposed until the time for God to reshape the whole structure. But when the Messiah appears as Kohen Gadol, high priest, of the good things that are happening already, then through the greater and more perfect tent, which is not man-made, that is, it is not of this created world, he entered the holiest place once and for all.